Good morning, family. As you can see, we waiting on hers truly. She should be here any second. Get this going for us, get us flowing up in here. Good morning. Meat Free, good morning. Thanks for bumping in with us this morning. She's like, I'm looking at her. She hasn't got out the car yet, but she on her way up here, family. Let me get to sharing this. So good morning to everybody that's tapping in this beautiful morning with us. Let me see where we at right here. Oh crap, let me get this together. Salty Chef, good morning. A10 Flint, good morning. Carolyn Hendricks, good morning. Let me find this on here real quick. Yeah, get that together. Mike Berger, Bench. Mike B, good morning. Chris Caleb, what's up, good brother? I'm saying the name's wrong already this morning. See, RJ Cat, good morning. Cheryl Hart, good morning. Andrew Pirano, good morning. If I'm messing up your last name, I'm truly sorry. My pronunciation is off a little this morning. I think I hear it coming through the hallway, family. Hold on, let me see. Keep sharing. Oh, that's correct. Okay. Close enough. Hey, thanks, Andrew. I was trying to get there. Let me see who else we got tapping in with us this morning. We're gonna have some good shows for y'all. Good guests coming on. We got Dr. Petroni. I'm at 10 with Claire McClinton. I can't. Oh, Anna. Good morning. I can't think of the other person, but I'll get the name for you. I don't want to be mentioning everybody and leave somebody out. But it's gonna be a very interesting show coming on. And then soon as the Queen of Madness. What's up, Art? Evelina is here, the Queen of Madness. Now you could open this door. Yeah, damn. So what you think?
We live.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey, dang, you give me a chance to get in here and get my stuff together.
No, the show got to start.
The show got to, but you ain't even talking to nobody.
I am talking to everybody that's on here. I'm trying to share it too.
God. You know, I've been up trying to cook all night because it's Thanksgiving.
I'm going to cut the camera off so you can get in your seat. They can hear you now.
Oh, Lord. Good morning, everybody. Golly, Mickey wouldn't even give me time to get in here. Oh, I've been cooking my coochie off.
That's kind of hard to believe that you cooking. But
you know
hey.
What? I don't need no feedback from you right now, sir.
No. You're not going to talk crazy to me this morning. But you ready yet?
No, I ain't ready yet.
I
ain't ready yet. I gotta share, Mickey. I gotta share.
You ready?
Yeah, Mickey, I'm ready. I'm ready as I'm gonna be.
Good morning, Sarah, for popping in with us.
You could have been on here talking instead of
I've been talking. Hold up, let me tell you something.
Oh Lord, this how we gonna this Thanksgiving. Don't start now, won't be none.
Oh, it's gonna be some problems.
It's Thankful Wednesday.
Yeah.
I ain't ready yet. See,
get that
I told you I wasn't ready.
When you stay ready,
good morning,
you
everyone.
Have to be ready.
Look, see that beautiful smile. Good morning, everyone.
But
how y'all doing?
Today's description was power or corruption.
Power or corruption? It's almost Thanksgiving. We gonna get that deep today.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
And you see what your mayor did yesterday?
What'd he do though?
The metal detector. How you don't know what he did and you shared the shit?
Oh, he didn't take him down.
Oh yeah, that's why I
thought that was like some type of big news or something. Hell, we know he
Shepherd,
wasn't gonna do what he was
morning.
supposed to do. That wasn't no big thing. I just wondered if it's just gonna be for council that he's gonna take him down.
I mean,
and doing regular business hours of City Hall, he's gonna leave him up. That's just maybe that's what he's doing. I don't, you never can tell with Sneely.
So he's gonna protect you doing when you coming up there to pay your water bill or whatever, but the council it can be the Wild Wild West.
There you go.
Hell of a plan. Hey,
now you getting it. Now you getting
nobody.
it.
I could have thought of that.
Now you getting it, Mickey. I'm glad you're getting it. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad everybody is here and tuned in with us today. Shout out to 810 News Media Group and the greatest producer in the world, Mickey Jordan. Good morning, Mickey.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm glad you're here because without you, it would be no me.
Oh, yeah, well. Yeah, well.
Mickey. That was like a tagline. It was supposed to go together.
Mm-mm.
Supposed to go
Because you
together.
be jumping off the motherfucking bridge a lot.
You know what? But you know what? I woke up in a good mood. I went to sleep in a good mood. I stayed in the bed all day. Oh, Tony, you still got that video of Thanksgiving with Mama? Yeah, and we got to go through that again today. That's what I'm saying. I just left Mama's house, taking my pots and pans over there. We got to go through this for the 4th year in a row, 10th year in a row of me learning how to cook. The kids at home mad, talking about we not gonna drink no dressing. Good morning from Queens, New York.
Donovan.
Good morning. And so yeah, I got to go through that again.
Good
If
morning.
y'all been
Leaving
following me
from
for
Memphis.
a long time, y'all will know that it's a video out there with me and this turkey. And it's what I don't understand. And then I know I'm young. I'm 47 years old. That's a little young. But when you have a turkey and that turkey says timer included, wouldn't you be looking for a damn clock in the turkey? I was waiting for a clock, to something to pop up to tell me that the turkey was done. We go through this every year. And there was some little red thing in there that pops up. That's the timer. Well, why don't they put on there little red thing pops up? That's the timer.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying, Mickey, I'm going to bring you a plate.
Keep that. I'm straight.
What?
We do all right with where I've been getting my place from.
But you say you eat turkey.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'm straight.
He's sitting over there smiling for real, like he don't want that. He's straight.
I'm straight. I'm gonna keep getting my food where I've been getting it from.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Memphis. They got my people from Memphis. Good morning, everybody.
That Big Shady 11 from Harrisburg.
Everybody,
PA.
there's go Anna from the DMV. Everybody, good morning on this Watchful Wednesday. This thing tomorrow is Thankful Thursday. Use a thermometer, Chris. I don't know how to cook. Chris, now you've been following me for years.
Don't make no sense.
I don't know how to cook. I'm trying. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna put my best foot forward this year to learn how to do everything. But I really don't have no interest in learning how to cook. I'm like, why?
I guess so. When life is almost over, so ain't no reason to
my
learn
life
now.
ain't almost over. I seen Flint doing great things. I seen the street sweeper this morning going down the street.
You fell for that?
Well, I'm just saying, I seen it. I seen the street sweeper. They're going down there on this great Wednesday, picking up. Good morning, Ty. I've been praying for you.
Yeah, good morning, Ty. Spring, Heron. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Spring, and that man that be following you around.
Jasmine.
Hey,
Chris,
Jasmine,
Linda,
everybody.
Catherine King.
Okay. She said, "Don't do winters like that."
Okay, I see. It said the injunction is for open meetings at guns are prohibited in other areas according to the judgment.
Yeah, that's what they say. And you need to recognize what they said. Listen, y'all. I don't have a lot to talk about today, other than the fact that Dr. Padroni and Clack will be on again on Wednesday at 10. Well, today at 10 a.m. So we just got a few minutes together today. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is right off jump, we just gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines. Just open them up, let the people talk, see what they want to say today. Because y'all should have a lot to say. Because let me tell y'all this real quick. The phone lines is closed when I leave the studio. Y'all quit calling me at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Y'all know I ain't on air. And I don't want to talk. I ain't got nothing to talk about at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll be tired. So, and I understand you love the show. And I love all of y'all too. But don't call me after 11 o'clock. That's all I want to put out there. That ain't my real phone number. It's a burner phone. That's the name of the app, Burner. It's a burner phone. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up the phone lines. Look, I had to block the damn phone lines yesterday because it kept going off. The phone kept going off and everything. But I'm
going to put the thing up there. Hold on. Let me put this thing
up.
Yeah,
while you rushing me, you should have been all together.
The number is there.
You should have been all together. Shout out to Daryl Campbell. That's my
Kevin
homeboy.
Berry Hill, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kevin from Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Texas. Okay. Shout out to Daryl Campbell. That's my football associate, colleague, friend. And we went through my football picks yesterday, Mickey. So I can't wait till he send them to me. So when we go live Friday, you send out links Friday. We're going live from the crib Friday.
Yes, we're going to not be in studio.
You be in the studio? I'm not. Probably ain't gonna get up Friday and drive. Y'all gonna see that little burgundy shade behind me Friday. And I did all of my football picks, and I'm happy. You know what? I did see Paul Herring down there. So what happened? Trevor went live yesterday after he found out that the metal detectors were still up. You know, they thought that Neely was gonna do as told. He must. They're gonna Mickey with them damn chips again. See, when y'all think that's me at council, that be Mickey and them chips. Who eat chips this early in the morning? You need to get up and cook your breakfast. Get you some cream of wheat or something like the kids used to eat before they come to school.
What that got to do with me? Don't talk.
No, you the co-host. You're the greatest producer in the world. Sit down with your damn chips.
I'm over here.
I made him bad. No, they're not Lay's regular chips. He got better made. I guess he using the Michigan chips. Yeah, yes, and that's it, Chris. Mickey be crunching munching. That's our new word today. # crunching munching. I like that. Mickey, you got a new word. We're gonna have to put that on a t-shirt for you. That's what the people say. Crunching munching.
But some of that time be Clack over there killing shit.
Clack?
Yeah, Clack be coming with the junk food. Get back to this silliness about what your mayor did.
Oh, he didn't do anything. The mayor didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. What did he do? He didn't do anything. He didn't remove any metal detectors. And it's been a slow week. They canceled committee meeting, which I thought was strange because this is the second time they canceled committee meeting before a council meeting. And you're supposed to have committee meeting before you have council. So I wonder how this is about to go now with our new great leadership of Candace Mouchard and Liddell Lewis. So is this going to be a weekly thing, bi-weekly thing where we just cancel committee and go straight to special affair and council? Because, they have committee meetings to vet things and make sure things are appropriate before they vote on them and pass. Oh, never mind. I'm talking about Flint City Council. They don't need to vet anything here. They just pass stuff. And he got everything passed. I think all the ARPA money should be gone right about now.
Is it?
It should be. They passed everything.
But is Liddell no money coming up? Why would you have a committee meeting if you can?
Oh, they don't. The committee meetings don't matter no more. They just go straight to. And then I posted on Flint Politics Reboot. They having a public hearing about a couple things. Y'all go ahead and read it. I don't know. I gotta read it. Let me find it on my phone. They're having a couple meetings about some things, and I'm not sure what it's about. But the public hearing starts at 5:30, and I wondered to myself, like, how they gonna have a public hearing at 5:30 when the
public hearing about what?
I'm about to read it for you as soon as I find it on here. You got to give me a second, man.
You're
rushing me, man. Rushing. All I've been doing is rushing. No, they need that meeting so we don't hear all the bickering and back and forth. Yes, I want to talk to the people today, Mickey. I want to talk, Mickey. What you got up here on the screen?
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
it was nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see the comments. I'm gonna talk to the people today, Mickey. Can you pop the comments up there?
Okay.
If y'all don't, but I can't see them over there, Mickey. You need to put them over here so I can see them. Like hit the button and say show.
Camera right there, Mickey. So you can look up. Open your eyes up.
Put them over here on the screen, Mickey, so everybody can see the comments over there. Over there. Mickey.
What you want to see, man?
I want to see the comments over here today, Mickey. I want to see them pop up on the screen. There we go. No, they need the meeting so we don't hear all that bickering and back and forth. That's very true. But we don't have committee meetings anymore for some reason. They come on ready to vote. Remember? Yes, Mrs. Jackson, I do remember. Yes, they do. They just come up there ready to go. See, they're giving you some ideas for some chips. I heard about them Grippos barbecue and Michigan cherry barbecue chips.
I see them.
Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, Kentucky. They love them Grippos. Y'all got to send Mickey some Grippo chips because he likes to crunch a munch. I saw Liddell post the committee will be
up. You keep coming with the shade, but I'm gonna start slang.
It's crunch a munch. The man up there said crunch a munch. I didn't say crunch. You
I'm gonna go
get
Eric
your
Mays
mind out the gutter.
Nah, I wasn't talking about that. I'm gonna go Eric Mays up in here. You go low, I'm gonna go lower.
Oh, and I'm gonna go to hell.
Well, I'll meet you there.
So, the sound. Somebody said, "Where's the sound effect?" Oh, Mickey, you gonna hit a sound effect for him on Thanksgiving?
You all the sound effect right there. All that lying you're doing.
See, this is what I got to deal with every day.
Come on, I said, what is the topics today?
We don't have no topics today. That's why I said call in. The phone lines is open. 810-207-5058.
Y'all, Flint ain't get exciting today. All we know is y'all ain't getting no ARPA money. Liddell is the president.
I don't like to come on here just keep council. Being redundant. Y'all type and call in. Instead of typing, just call in.
All this violence over crunching munching. Yes. That right there, right. All this violence, yes.
That's how Mickey act when he get hungry. I'm just saying. I'm gonna stop now.
And you done came in here with a box full of food.
I ain't got no damn box full of food.
What's that right there?
That's the Thanksgiving appreciation gifts.
Man, I should throw that out the window, but go ahead. Carry on.
Yes, he's hangry. Yes, he is. But he'll calm down in a minute. Drink you some water, Mickey. You'll be all right. So, not a lot of things going on in Flint. It's really not. The metal detectors are still up. When you said that 150 times already this morning. City Hall will be closed Thursday. But they'll be open Friday. The people got to work Friday.
There's supposed to be a committee meeting Monday. That's what I just saw somebody say Liddell posted.
How? You going to have committee meetings, special affairs, and council meeting? They can only choose one. Because if you've been following Flint, you know they're not going to make it through all three. And hell, you got to have legislative, finance, and governmental ops. That's your committee meetings. Then on council day, you have special affairs and the council meeting. And then they done threw in this public hearing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 different things. Pick one.
And to answer your question, Shardy, yes, your mayor said he was going to throw $1 million for the.
What did he say? I read yesterday that the city council voted to use $1 million of the ARPA money to go towards the Burston renovation and expansion. Is that true? Because I thought that was already paid for. Yes, we did too. And but when I brought it up on Flint Politics Reboot, it got crickets. Nobody wanted to talk about Burston. Nobody.
Yeah.
But yes, they did. City council did give $1 million of your ARPA money.
But Judy constituent didn't want that voted for, and she voted against what her constituents said.
Judy don't listen to her constituents. She has to do what downstairs tells her to do. And that's what she did. And so Lalicia said MIHAF will end application to help residents in multiple area property taxes, utilities, and so forth end in December. Please, family, apply no income cap up to $25,000 for property owners.
That was advertised, but at least I'll be sending you an invoice.
Yes, he had a cocktail. I see RJ Cat. What's up? So yeah, nobody. I'm gonna have to call you. Keela said she gonna. Okay, I'm gonna inbox Crystal. I'm gonna inbox Crystal instead of Keela. None of our leaders are listening to the constituents, but they want to vote the greedy asses in. Absolutely. And you know that they don't. The only time they do good is around recall time or election time to get anything you want out of council members.
Liddell feel like, she got away with her recall, so she doubling down on madness.
Yeah, Liddell.
She doubling down on madness.
She's not thinking about y'all. She's not thinking about y'all at all. I'm just letting you know. So let me do my best to try to read this because I didn't bring my glasses. It says, City of Flint, notice a public hearing. Ordinances amending the Flint City Code of Ordinances. Notice is hereby giving that the Flint City Council will hold public hearings on Monday, November 27th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Now, that's what I'm talking about. How you going to stop a meeting and go into public hearings? But let me keep going. In the City Council chambers, 3rd floor, Flint City Hall, and gives the address, to allow the public to comment on 230424.6, a public hearing for ordinance number 230424, an ordinance to amend the Code of City of Flint by amending Chapter 18, Taxation Funds Purchasing, Article 1 in general, Section 18 4.1, service charge in lieu of taxes for housing facilities for certain persons, shall be amended by adding subsection HH. Note the pilot is for Marion Hall Limited Dividend Housing Association LLC. I'm so sick of seeing LLC. 415 West Court Street, Flint, Michigan 48503, to own and operate a housing project identified as Marion Hall Apartments. Note, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon publication. Now, what that mean, y'all? I don't even know what I just read. That was a little bit over my pay grade right there. So they want to do something for Marion Hall. So while y'all thinking on that one, before y'all answer me, here go to the next one. 230425.6, a public hearing for ordinance number 230425, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Flint by amending Chapter 18, Taxation Funds Purchasing, Article 1 in general, Section 18 4.1, service charge in lieu of taxes for housing facilities for certain persons. Who the hell is the certain persons? Shall be amended by adding subsection 2. Note, this pilot is for 517 MLK Avenue, Limited Dividend Housing Association, LLC. 415 West Court Street, Flint, Michigan 48503, to own and operate a housing project identified as 517 MLK Avenue Apartments. Note, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon publications, and you can pick copies of these ordinances at the city clerk's office, and they're also on the website at www.cityofflint.com. What the hell did I just read? Do y'all know what they want to give us over to the state of Michigan?
Well,
once they vote yes, what I can't see. That's why you got to put the stuff up here. Start back up there with Jasmine Beasley. I'm at work. I can't call in, but I'm enjoying the conversation. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay, Sheldon Neely and Benjamin now need to be tried in the next one.
In the Hague.
Otto Brown, do we get enough salt for the winter season this year? I hope so. That's where the Flint Odyssey House bus at now. What are they trying to do with that? I don't know. Is you talking about the one on MLK or Marion Hall? Like I don't know. I don't know what I just read. I honestly don't. Once they vote yes and the clerk posts it, it becomes law. Yeah. So, what else? They want to give us over to the state of Michigan? Yeah, we seen that. State already opening parks, not housing. Oh, that's what I just read. Okay. That's what it say. The certain person is mentioned. Okay, thank you, Dan. Dan B. Hold on. The certain person is mentioned because it's an ordinance that's specific just to certain individuals. I never come across ordinance that gives special taxation privilege to a limited liability corporation. To guess, it might be a TIF tax, incremental financing. Marion Hall is on MLK across from the Soggy Bottom. Is it? I thought that was the little Black Lives Matter building. That Marion Hall. I gotta go find that. Tax break. Thank Pat J. What's up?
Ain't that one of the Ethics and Accountability Board
members? Shh. Don't tell nobody that the Ethics and Accountability Board is out here. We know Patrick Julian don't want nobody to know. The Ethics and Accountability Board.
I want to know how Ed got off. Personal. Okay.
I'm not gonna say that. Our voice will be suppressed at the local level. It already is, according to this. But you know why? You know what? We need y'all gonna have a good Thanksgiving. They done gave us a lot of days off. You know it's gonna be a damn train wreck Monday because the vice president runs the special affairs meeting, which is Candace Jigsaw Mushat. And then the president runs the council meeting, which is Liddell Park Ranger Lewis. Now I'm just wondering, And let's talk about it while we're sitting here. Mickey, what are you doing to the
Go ahead,
screen?
handle your business.
I
I'm
can't, but I'm
doing
trying to see
something.
what the people are saying.
I
So
got you.
let's
I get
talk
back
about
to
it.
you.
I really want to know, what do you guys think? How long before they put? Do you think Eric Mays is going to make it through the special affairs meeting, or do you think he's going to get put out in council meeting? Because you know he's going to get put out. He's not going to be able to handle Candace telling him what to do. She's going to try to tell him to shut up every 5 minutes. And then Lord knows the backup train that's coming behind her, Liddell, is really going to wipe him out. And I think they got a new law on the books. You know, they changed the law according to Eric, that once you get put out of one meeting, you gone for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually you get put out of one meeting, you come back the next meeting, but now you get put out, you gone for the whole day. So what are they saying?
Like they had the Jordan rules, they got the Eric Mays rules.
So Chris already said, hell no, he won't. Well, I know he won't. He ain't gonna make it. I know he ain't gonna make it, but I'm just wondering, like, which meeting is he gonna get put out at? The first one. Damn, Mickey, you really think so?
Hell yeah! Then you see, she already tried it.
And we supposed to be biased though. We supposed to ask the people, you know. But you
can see it. I'm putting them up on it.
Hey, look, even Uncle AC said he gonna be put out. You know what, Uncle AC, you gonna get put out too. We are too. That's why we gotta go in there silent. Silent. We're gonna come in there singing like the Temptation, Silent Night.
Hold on, answer this question. I got a big question for you. Is Candace gonna be seen? Because you know she hide behind, because it ain't nothing up there, and is she gonna be behind her?
Oh, them little things that
how
they got.
How can she chair a meeting if you can't see her?
Man, they may roll in there in one of them damn bounce bubbles Monday. We never know what they gonna come in there on. I don't know how they got it fixed up now. Here, there may be a tent around her little damn workstation with a little camera in there, and she'd be up on one of them screens. We don't know. They don't want nobody to look at them. And then even don't want nobody to call her damn name, and she gonna be sitting up there like this the whole time. You can't be sitting up there like this and paying attention to what's actually going on.
I'm saying, but not that. But how you gonna be able to see if she chairing the meeting if you can't see her?
It's not a meeting. It's a damn clown show, Mickey.
Okay. Well, how are you gonna chair a clown show if the people can't see you?
I don't know, and you can't see the people that you're supposed to be cheering. But I want to go back up to Shardy. Shardy had a good question, and I'm trying to understand what's going on here, and it looks like Shardy is too. So the people from the Odyssey House were housed in Marion Hall. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that building that they're in. My question is, were the people from the Odyssey House still there, or did they move out? That's a good question, Shardy, and that's the stuff that we need to talk about, because I don't know what I just read with these ordinances. They're doing something with Marion Hall, and then they're doing something with the building on MLK. So, and I know what you're talking about, that bus stop out there in front of MLK. So, I mean, these are questions that people need to show up for Monday at this public hearing and ask, because they slip these little public hearings out real fast. Mm-hmm. And then, as you can see, this way above I don't even know what I just read.
But you keep reading it though.
I know, but I don't know what I just read. Most of the people that's listening to me, they're gonna call me crazy, but they don't know what I just read either. Even if they read it, they wouldn't understand. So we need people to ask questions.
Look who orchestrated the roof change.
Allie, yeah, we know that. You know, Allie said her head was hurting, but I guess her head is feeling much better with that new state job she got, huh, guys?
She got out quick.
You notice, and that's what I said before. We, as in Black folk, sell out for lawnmowers and candy.
Hold on.
But the other kind.
Let's quit saying that. That's what they leaked out. Because it's impossible for $1,500 in candy and a lawnmower. That's the best you can get.
Well, that's all we see. All I can go by is what I see and what I've seen. Now, what I seen put out there was a check for some candy, a check for some lawnmower, and then Allie got a 6-figure state job. That's what I seen. It's a mini station. Is it a mini station on MLK? Well, that's where Liddell has her meetings at, down there on MLK and Bishop, right across. It used to be Stanley's Meat Market. It's a little mini station out there now. Whether they got police in it, I don't know. Is it police in any of the damn mini stations that they got around Flint? Have you seen any? I mean, we don't have that many police, so I'm sure that they're not staffed with police. The last police I seen in the 6th Ward up there at the mini station on Manager Highway, Sheldon Neely was the 6th Ward councilman.
The most I've seen is at City Council.
Man, they be loaded up at City Council, man. But they be on overtime. Because I be asking them. what you doing here? Why you here?
Chris Caleb, you know what? I would try to do it. We be trying to do stuff, but as you see, we get batted down.
Oh yeah,
these jokers will play you here. Just look at the people, the outside lawyers that came in for the water crisis and how the people got played. I mean, the lawyers get paid, but the people get played. I mean, everybody know this is just like I said, it's a way to you want to be a millionaire, come to Flint.
Yeah.
So you gotta hope that the people that you do get don't get caught up in making the money, that they really want to see the people get help.
Oh, Tony, you wrong. Tony and Shanetta Woods. Somebody tagged Shanetta Woods. That's my unofficial cousin. Her and Tony was on a one-way ticket to hell last night, but we made our way back this morning.
But you see how? But now you see this craziness. Allie got a 6-figure paying job, and Quincy got a council seat.
Shh. Ain't that what you just told me? Don't say that.
He liked it. He heard the show yesterday.
Oh, Quincy did. He watched the show.
Yeah, he watched the show.
We didn't say nothing good about him though yesterday.
I know we didn't.
Oh shit.
He hired it.
We gonna get put out, but
I guess he's doing reverse psychology.
Yeah, make him think. No, he ain't doing no reverse psychology.
I know.
We gonna get put out because that means they got a heart, because they got something. They coming for our hearts, Mickey. I think they're gonna have some type of ordinance we're gonna read next week where they ain't gonna have filming in the council chambers.
You think he let me say this because he's gonna probably say it at council. You think he's clipping the videos and sending it to the family members?
I don't know. I just know Liddell calling my family members. So I don't know what Quincy doing on his part with your family.
I hope he ain't telling them.
But Liddell calling my family members.
But I'm saying if they go watch council, they can see he's voting away Flint. But I mean, it's all right if you want to say.
And that's what I had to explain to some of my cousins. Like, while she go calling and pleading with them for me to lay off of her, I said, just watch the meeting, cuz. Just watch the meeting. I'm telling you, it's not just me. Watch and see what she do. I said, matter of fact, here go a couple clips. They was like, she better not call me no more.
Well, matter of fact, this is a good one for you. Don't you do that show today?
Y'all really don't have any other good options to get an intern or someone in law school at Harvard went to see. Yeah, I know. Yep, I got a show 6:00 with the Harvard professor. Yeah. But I don't know if it's live. It's coming from Harvard's end, so I don't know.
You think we can ask for help? I mean, you ask for help. You think you should ask for help?
Yeah. I mean, evidently it's a research project that they're doing on Flint. So why we always got to be a damn research project?
Because y'all had an experiment did on us here, and that's why.
Oh, poison water. See how many folks die?
And see how many survive. Hell of experimentation. And people want to act
Mickey,
like...
I don't even want to talk to you right now. Mickey said because he was an experiment. What happened yesterday? Quincy is Mickey's cousin. Oh, Uncle AC, child, you missed it. Yes, Quincy and Mickey is related. He announced that a few weeks ago.
Months ago.
They look alike.
I should come right over there and throw this whole... No, and you and Liddell favor each other. Y'all look just alike. She just got to blonde her hair and cut it off.
Thank you for tuning in this morning. And this is where we'll take our commercial break. If you like our content and stories that we bring to you, Cash App $810 News Media Group. Shout out again to 810 News Media Group and the greatest producer in the world, Mickey Jordan Murphy.
And Winters Hall Lewis.
Oh, you about to get this bottle upside his head, but I'm just gonna keep smiling for
people. I know.
We're not doing. Listen, the phone lines is open 810-207-5058. We have absolutely nothing to do but just sit up here and mess with y'all until 10 o'clock until Dr. Pedroni come on.
And she thought that was something he put on there.
I'm just saying.
Hey, shit, you're being messy.
Can you guys do a show with the clips and explain the speech, vote, and the outcome? Okay. Yeah, we can try to do that next week.
Do what?
Ty, if you would put the comments up there for me to read. She said,
you've been keep throwing so much shade, and me and Quincy, like, I think 5th or 6th cousins.
I didn't know it go down that deep no more. Oh, Lord.
Well, you know who your first cousins is. You know who your second cousins is. You know who your third cousins is. That's kind of like, your cousins from your uncles and aunties. But there's no disrespect. But, I still said it. That's why I said he threw that shot out there when he called out how we connected to each other. He threw that family last night. I said, that dirty sucker. When we was at council, when he was out there, because my family be seeing it, and he threw the shumpers out. I said, that MFer.
Yeah. Well, now you telling everybody.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I was never
you got over it now, huh?
I didn't care. I came out and told it.
But you know what bothers me? What bothers me again is that other page that shall remain unnamed on this platform. Mm-hmm. They shut one of them down. But then you got the other one where the council members over there frequenting, and then they got that. Then the caption, the rules to that page is no fake pages allowed. But then they got the biggest fake page ever, that Linda lady over there. And again, last night, early in the morning, they put up all of Danielle's information. But you got council members, public officials over there that see this and they think it's okay. But when it happened to them, Lord have mercy. We got to have metal detectors. We got to have police escorts to the meeting. How the hell y'all think these people feel? Not these people. Let's just go with Danielle. When she see her daughter's damn name and address and stuff up there. Even if her daughter don't live there. It's just a point, like, y'all see this over there and think it's okay until it happened to y'all. Then y'all want to call the concerned pastors and Black Lives Matter and sit on TV and cry and tell them everything is woe is me. But y'all allow this shit over there. And then y'all communicate with this fake ass page over there. And I think it's horrible. Shame on all of y'all over there in that political group. Every single last one of y'all. Because it's okay, because it's people that y'all don't like over there in the little echo chamber. But it's wrong. Because if something happened, it's on y'all hands. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So let's get, Lord, she about 30 minutes early.
Cool.
The guest for 10 o'clock.
Yeah, she won't. I'll tell her she ain't coming on right now.
So Michelle said, why don't we do a show once a week or on site somewhere that is having a problem like Habitat for Humanity? Girl, we got to keep the shows down that we got. We just getting a bump off the air real quick. You know, we gotta get this going for a minute. Mike said, turn your heat down, Winter's child. I shouldn't have wore this sweatshirt today. Next week it's gonna be all t-shirts.
And that's courtesy of who?
LA.
No, the hat is courtesy of Unleashed. I got on my Unleashed t-shirt.
I don't have mine. This is 810 News Media Group. You know, Mickey can't see this morning. This is courtesy of 810 News Media Group.
Okay, my bad. But you told me you was finna be wearing Unleashed. Remember you told me you was coming in with Unleashed on.
Yeah, today I couldn't because I got to cook.
I threw my Unleashed t-shirt on.
Oh, yeah, you look cute.
Yeah, I threw my Unleashed t-shirt. I thought we was representing Black clothing lines.
Yes, RJ Cat, me too. No, Linda Flowers, Quincy will not come and have a sit-down discussion. If y'all can get Quincy, come on here and sit down. I think it would be real nice.
No, Quincy, he don't come over here.
You don't think he'll come over here?
No, he don't come over here. You know, he'll go to he went to, he went to Layla Harvey McGee's.
Oh, yeah, he's somewhere that's, he gonna go safe.
Then he did some with, what was that, Donna Pop? I think he did an interview with her, didn't he?
She got a show?
No, it wasn't her. Let me scratch that. I'm wrong. I think it was Layla Harvey McGee.
Okay.
He did an interview, but
I was trying to do my uncomfortable interviews. The biggest I could get was Donna Dennis Cipher. I can't get Liddell. I ain't asking her no more. But Quincy, if y'all can get Quincy, come on here.
Quincy not coming on because Quincy ain't
gonna want to. Can you go back? Because I want Chris. I'll inbox you the name of the page because I definitely am not mentioning it on here. Go back, Mickey. I want to see the. You know what? Shit.
Get your phone together.
But I can't get the YouTube comments. Okay, let's start with RJ Cat. I saw Griggs like a post. Come up. Go back down, Mickey. Down. Greatest producer in the world. Right there. Just click on RJ and go down. I saw Griggs like, oh, Lord, keep going. I know he said that. No, Mickey, go back up to the next post after we're going to go in sequential order.
That was Facebook. You could have looked on your phone.
Y'all think y'all the only people that can dox other people and pull information, and that's cute. And you know what? But that's wrong. That's wrong for them to do that. That's wrong for them to do that. And it's not cute. And it's it's hurtful to people. And people, it ain't right. They need to watch what they're doing. Can you do an investigative journalism featuring Mike Kilbreath? Nope. He got his own show. We don't do all of that. Renee Jackson, that's right. Chris Caleb, what's the name of the page? I told you I'll inbox you that later. Yep, you're asking me again. I told you I'll inbox you that later. We down to Jasmine. What did Jasmine say? I saw Art Winston's intro up. I saw, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Jasmine. Art information. Art, but if you go in there, they mixing, it's just, him and Danielle is married. Oh, well, they're a couple. They're a couple. And so, you know what I'm saying? They connected. I inbox you, Uncle AC. Well, I can't inbox you, Uncle AC, because you still got me blocked. What's the Lord Quincy will take a person, and he will. He will. But I'm just saying, like, we're not going to invite anybody to our house and mistreat them. Now, if they just show up, then that's when they get mistreated. But if we invite you, it'll be a nice open, dialogue. Yeah, they think they're invincible. They don't know who knows people. Exactly. And that's everybody got somebody that loved them. Everybody not gonna show up at somebody's door if you want to. That's just like when they had doxed Eric Mays and said he lived on Mackin Road. No, that was a police officer's daughter that lived on Mackin Road. And they was waiting for somebody to come up to that address. So you got to be careful what you put out there. But again, I don't blame the fake page, because they over there, they know who behind the fake page, because some of the pictures that they take at council show up on this fake page. But it's okay. Again, that it's okay what that Linda person is doing, because they doing it for people that they don't like over there, and they go along with it. But let it happen to them or somebody in their friends and family is what I'm saying is the shit ain't right. It ought to stop. And everybody that's watching need to tell who all over there in that little echo chamber, the ones that's not in reboot. Okay. Yes, Greg stay liking them posts.
Sure do.
He stay liking them. But then he downs people too. Like if you read his little comments over there, oh, he got to put a little dig in. He think all black folks is dumb. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Ain't nobody got no sense but him. Oh, she's an engineer. I need to look for me a Cadillac truck. Those bad boys are nice. Oh, Shardy, you must have seen Quincy's. Did he get his backlight fixed yet? Start investigating the nonprofit. Ty.
Yeah, you do that. Because you do. They've been saying follow the money.
Follow the money.
Once you follow the money, you
follow the LLC. Follow the 501c3. Have you seen the accusations they made last night? Girl, what else could they have made? Phone lines is open. 810-207-5058. Call us. Let us know what's going on. No, I don't comment over there. I'm telling you, I still get the screenshots. People still send me the stuff. I don't go over there. It's an echo chamber, but it's wrong, Art. It's wrong. I'm tired. And the thing I don't understand is people that are over there, that are elected officials that see this, the same people that get mad when it happens to them, they allow this to happen to you because they don't like you. They don't like Mickey. They don't like me. They don't like Clay. They don't like Trevor. Anybody over on this side that don't think the way they want them to think, it's okay. But it's not okay, because we got people that love us too. And somebody need to speak up about that. This stuff is wrong. They did it to Dennis. They did it to Don. But it's okay.
But look, soon as
they said the sound is low, it's difficult to hear me.
Oh, it is.
Oh, my phone turned off. Mm-hmm. My phone on.
I can hear you.
My phone on. I don't know what happened. Try calling back again. 810-207-5058.
I'm just trying to figure out. But did you notice Liddell Lewis got, and that's the hypocrisy of Liddell Lewis got a police escort.
Right.
Everybody
can
else
you get one since they put your damn address and stuff up there? Can I get one to the meeting?
You ain't gonna get that. It's not for you.
Here we go.
Decline. Press 1 to start the call or 2 to decline. The call will start at the beep.
Oh, Paul blocked you.
Caller, you've been bumped in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Tia calling from here, there, and everywhere.
Hey, baby, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling better. Get up and get to working on these sweet potato pies. We call them tater pies down here.
Tater pies.
Taking a tater pie. But I just wanted to say, like, about 1 o'clock this morning, because I sleep, off and on like that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I had got a notification or whatnot. And I'm like, what the hell?
Don't say the page name. Don't say the page name, but go ahead and tell what happened.
But I got a page name, and it's got happy birthday husband, right? It said Kenneth W. Burns from Flushing, Michigan. Mr. Ken Burns, 76 years old, male, birthday May 27, 1947. And it's got a fake case number, because I looked for that case over and over. But they put a case linking Kenneth William Burns to Johnny Cole. It says date filed 5/11/2023, and it's got D67 Central Court against John Dushan Cole. And anyway, that's basically like they trying to insinuate that Councilwoman Burns has AIDS. Then they posted another right behind it, and it was Art Woodson. And it's got Art Woodson, still live buster. And it says Flint City Councilwoman Dr. Liddell Lewis approves this entry with 5 comments. And I'm like, that in my opinion, now that right there, that's slander.
Yes.
That is absolutely slander. And I'm like, if you're saying no fake pages and all of this stuff, no, that's not right.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And they shouldn't allow that. And we need to make a stand. You know what I'm saying? They think it's funny over there, but it's not funny.
I think that everybody, because that's one thing they understand. When you hit them in the pocket, that money, those numbers. So I believe that, being that these city council members comment publicly on these things or whatnot, is, they definitely have collusion. And I believe that lawsuits should be filed against them individually instead of the city. So that way it comes out of their pocket, and let them see how I feel to have a lien against their home or a levy against their property.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, baby, for calling in, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. I agree with everything she said. Take them all out. Take them all out and sit them up here so everybody had their stuff. So yeah, I agree with everything she was saying. It's not right. And they should know how I feel. They should know how I feel. But 2 wrongs don't make a right, and we ain't about to go and start putting out no addresses and stuff like that. But they just do fake stuff. What did Uncle AC say? Mickey, where can your listeners get clean chitlins for Thanksgiving?
I don't do that.
He throwing shots. Winston, are you cooking soul food tomorrow? No, I'm cooking it today, Uncle AC.
Because this for AC.
Oh, that's why AC don't do pork. No,
I keep telling them you need that pork
alone. You can get you some pre-cleaned chitlins and just put them in the pot and boil them with some water. Black Tony over here, he had a fit. I don't eat chitlins. I'm just saying, to say pre-cleaned on there, it shouldn't be too much more cleaning that you have to do.
But this the thing. I do agree with what Miss Talia was saying. See, but this is where I say somebody gonna get hurt where it get downright disrespectful. That's why I call them cowards, and I don't want to give them no time. It's easy to get behind the keyboard. Don't nobody know who you is. See, them cowards. That's why I say it could be the mayor. This is my opinion. It could be the council people. Even when they invited Tanya Burns to a necktie party, even Liddell Lewis sharing. That's why I think it's so important to get the lady she ran against in Maryland and Prince George County, for people can see what type of madness that we're dealing with in Flint.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree.
And this just showed you, because evidently she must have did that there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you can share something, say, "Oh, calling your daughter," and that's why I get frustrated, because I wonder where's Black Lives Matter on that. When you
they come and they said they just started with that.
No, I just want to know where they at with that, when these same people that come running to y'all and you seeing the madness they created. You know what I'm saying? Because Liddell Lewis shared that, but she got mad because she got called a monkey. Allegedly, but he didn't call her monkey. He said the situation, let's get to the monkey business.
Right, monkey in the room.
But she wanted to be, I got called a monkey. When you see these people, but you shared the picture of them calling Tanya a monkey, but you didn't see nothing
That's
wrong with
unforgivable
that.
in a mother's
And
eyes.
And what could be more shameful than all of it? What if that is a white person that's doing that behind the scenes? But you got all them blacks over there sharing.
I feel like they know who
paid.
that Linda
so what if
person
it
is.
is a white person that's doing that? So now y'all partaking in racism.
Absolutely agree.
You know,
that's more like intra-racial racism.
Right.
Like
come on in. Since you're here, come on. You about to take over in a minute anyway. 10 minutes. Come on, get your stuff.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see how can hold up. Go ahead, Clark. I'm just gonna cut this off. Yeah, because I'm trying to see how do all this fit in, because you know Dennis done got doxxed. We didn't. Well, blacks been getting doxxed. Like I said, they didn't got him, which is terrible.
Right.
But when you put people, kids in there, it's like they don't even care no more. You see all of this lawlessness going on.
Yes. Thank you, Winters.
Yeah. It's the 810 appreciation. You get here. You've been here a year. You get a prize.
I guess I gotta go ahead and do research, right?
Yeah.
I was finna this is.
So that's my opinion. How you feel about that, Clark? Where they can putting people, kids. You see council people playing in this, sharing stuff like that.
Nah.
And you know what? I like that Christine Leach. One of the issues is the Ethics Accountability Board. That attorney shouldn't be on there. She's with needed blocking everything. And I do think that now when they get to social media and they talking about social media, that should be something that gets brought to the Ethics and Accountability Board with elected officials over here on a page with somebody else that's putting out. And I know it's all public information because that's the first thing that they run to cover. Oh, this is public information and we can find this on the internet, so we're not doing anything wrong. But if it happened to them,
right. Well, and this, it's gonna sound like I'm almost a hypocrite right now because of the post that I made the other day.
Kanusha.
Yeah.
But then you didn't put his address out there.
No, I didn't. But still, what I was about to say is there should be a level of civility.
Absolutely.
There should be a level of respect, especially when you get to talking about kids, like kids and spouses and family members. There should be no question that that's out of line. You know what I mean? Like there should be no question about that. So when you get to caught putting people, kids, and people, wives, and stuff like that, it ain't that ain't got no place in politics. Here go mine, y'all.
Y'all see my beautiful cup with my face on it. Look at this 810.
But yeah, I don't play like that. You don't hardly ever hear me say another elected official's name. You know what I mean? Like you won't hardly ever hear me say that. You might hear me say the council person or a board member, or you know what I'm saying, but you won't ever hear me say their name. So I don't really participate in the name calling or stuff like that. I'll laugh, but I'll call you out on a decision that was made. You know what I'm saying? Or not even call you out. I'll question, or I'll speak about, or give my opinion about. You'll never hear me say somebody's name. So my level of respect is a little bit different than I'm not about to share nobody address or like nobody address or you've been doxxed on the internet. That's just
these are good comments. That attorney is terrible on the ethics board. I think Attorney Trishelle is doing a wonderful job. She's doing exactly what she was put there to do. Deflect everything that from going to Sheldon Neely's office. Caller, you've been bumped in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How you doing? This is John Pony.
Hey, John.
And how you doing? I love you guys. You're doing a great job. But I just want to ask you something or point out something rather. Look, they already in position, and they placed everything, for the game. We lost the battle, and it hurts and stings quite a bit, but that doesn't mean the war is over.
Right.
And the reason why they won the battle is because while they had everything in position in place, and they had taken these moves to put everything in place for quite a while, and these people even in place. I mean, Neely went down to D.C. to Maryland to and get with some people to get Liddell.
Wow.
She's a ringer. And brought her back.
Wow.
And if you remember, he's always going down to D.C. for what? He's not on Congress. He's not on, you know what I'm saying? He's got connections down there, and that's what she does. But back, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah,
Allegedly. Right. But the thing is, it seems like we're taking a position of, oh, they beating us up. Oh, what they gonna do now? Oh, look, they doing what they gonna do. What we should take is what we should be doing is regrouping and having conversations, finding some way to have conversations and communications where we can organize and put into place the things that we need to battle. Look, for instance, in media. Neely, whatever you want to call him, he's got all the people in media, ABC 12 and all that. He's got that piece in place.
Yeah.
You are, and a couple others, you are a real piece in place, but you need resources that ABC 12 and all of them have. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Listen, folks, and I hope everybody that is out there hears me. You need money.
Absolutely.
Because some resources cost.
Yeah.
You need some people in there to do certain things. And you're a media arm, and it's like we're not organizing right. But it's great because you bring in the awareness. Now, if the people really care about our future, or about Flint, or about what's happening here, because, like I said, this is happening all over the country. And it's going to happen more in the country. But you got to understand, these people, it just boggles my mind why we get so, complacent and oh my God, look what they're doing to me. These are only people just like you. They're not God.
Absolutely.
They're just a group, as a matter of fact, a smaller group of people who are getting on a point with an agenda and agreement. They're doing however long it takes, they're putting into place because they're looking down the road.
Right. You got 10 seconds, caller. 10 seconds.
Doing that. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. But you're more people. We're more people. And if we can get that, we can counteract no matter what they do, whatever they've done and they put in place. We can get organized and take those positions of power, the council. We can get our media thing together. We can get our social thing together as far as the communities, the residents, and also build something that's ready for other cities across the country.
Right.
Because they're coming for them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, caller. We appreciate.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
God bless y'all. Be safe. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
And keep on pushing. Stay strong and humble.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. But he's right. And it takes money to do all of those things. And now we have our media. You know what I'm saying? We have our social media page. But we need to organize. But the thing that scares me in Flint, and all three of us sitting in this room know, we can go and organize. We can get those people in the room. Half of them gonna get bought out. And then the other half gonna go back and report what we talking about. And I mean, we've seen this over and over again. You don't know who to trust here in Flint in politics. Trust nobody. First of all, you can't trust anybody. But how do you even come collectively when I know that they're gonna go and they're gonna pay this one right here to tell what's going on. I know that they did strategically place this one right here to run interference. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't have the answers for that.
That's a rough one right there. That is, like, who can you trust? We done seen it. We done seen it now. You done seen people who done been together. But if you had a 501c3 and you wanted funding, you ain't over here.
That's true. And Chris said we need people from out of state. We absolutely do.
501c3.
That's why, because you over here. I'm like, is you listening?
Yeah,
over here.
My bad.
And I agree with Uncle AC. Nobody comes on unless they pay. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me.
All right. Well, you guys, it is almost 9. It is almost 10 o'clock. It's time for Winter's Hall. Under here, he didn't move the camera. It's time for me to sign off. I'll be back on here Monday. I might pop in Friday. I'm not sure, but I'll be back Monday morning. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Spend some time with yourself, with your family. Take some time off for you. Politics is going to be here next week because we're going to start off Monday with a dumpster fire hell show of a meeting down in Flint City Hall. So, Clack, it's on you.
Uncle AC, what was I?
The Black Caucus had 2 white women in the meeting.
Oh, you gotta get your headphones on.
Yeah, you gonna pause it.
He can't leave the phone lines open because I got the phone.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Dr. Tony, y'all hold on 1 second. Let me cut this off. Go ahead.
Okay, we're ready to roll.
For a second.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Welcome.
Y'all still on, Dr. Petroni. Let me mute us out over here because they can hear Dr. Petroni, though.
Okay, let me know when we're ready.
You can talk, Dr. Petroni. You on?
Okay, I see that Ms. Claire McClinton is with us. Russ Ballant is not with us. He was waiting. Do you need to let him in? (810). We have one guest in, Ms. Claire McClinton. The other guest, Russ Ballant, is not pictured yet.
He on here, but he's not coming in, Dr. Hold on, let me add him on. He added on now.
There he is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. Are we ready to go?
I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yeah, we can hear you, Russ. Can't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I hit start cam, and every time I hit it, it mutes the mic for some reason.
Well,
they're interconnected, and so I'm just uncammed, but
yeah. Well, we all know that Russ Ballant is beautiful, so we'll just kind of picture him in our minds in his gorgeousness, and
that will give me cover in case I'm disheveled.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad to see Claire. Hi, Claire. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
It's been a long time. We just continuous struggle.
Yes.
You know that. That's your hit. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to go ahead and welcome everyone to the 4th episode of the Deeper Grassroots Effect. Mickey and Wintus haven't fired me yet. So far, so good. Cross your fingers. Behave, guests. But the Deeper Grassroots Effect, the purpose of this program is to sow deeper connections among people struggling in predominantly Black cities across the state of Michigan. So in the last few episodes, we brought together educational activists from Inkster, from Benton Harbor, to dovetail with our own president of the school board, Mickey Clack, around educational issues. And this time we're taking an even broader dive than we've done in previous shows, because we have on 2 people, Claire McClinton and Russ Ballant, who have both been longtime activists in their own respective cities. Claire McClinton in Flint and Russ Ballant in Detroit, who have been activists around educational issues, but also around other issues that deeply impact the community. And so for me, an important thing that I hope that we unpack today is to see how an agenda over the struggle for the city, in each case, over the struggle for who gets to participate in the city, who gets to envision what the city is like, what that looks like in the 2 different cities. I mean, I am relatively new to the Flint context, but just in the little bit of time that I've spent studying it, I've uncovered things that you all have shared with me, like the master plan, which lays out a framework that is strikingly similar to frameworks that have been purportedly guiding Detroit as well, where we have these visions of of green spaces created on the north side of Flint, which is the predominantly Black and also more low-income side. There's a lot of talk about apple orchards going to be started up on the north side. In Detroit, similarly, there have been long-time plans, at least since the time of Mayor Bing, 10 years ago, or even more, maybe 11 years ago, to shut down parts of the cities and just put investment in certain parts. So I see this as a fundamental struggle over the city. You have the perspective of developers on one side and other interests, and then you have the perspective of ordinary people who are fighting for their own stake, fighting to remain in the city and fighting to maybe advance a vision of a more democratic city as well. So I think that many of you will already know, maybe all of you, Ms. Claire McClinton, and maybe Russ Ballant is new to some of you. So could I just ask first that each of you introduce yourselves? And Ms. Claire, maybe we could start with you.
Okay, Claire McClinton. I'm a Flintstone, born and raised here in Flint. A GM retiree. My parents came up here from the South, like so many African Americans, for opportunities in the plants. And I'm a product of the 60s. And if you grew up in the 60s, and I'm aging myself now, but if you grew up in the 60s, the social movement was so hot. There was so much social struggle going on. You had to be living under a rock not to be impacted by it. So that's kind of how I got swept into social justice causes. So that's about it for now. And I have recently, in the last 10 years, been involved with the epic water disaster that happened here in Flint. And so that's about it.
Thank you. And I'm guessing maybe that epic water disaster is how you met Mr. Russ Ballant, or did you know him even before that?
Well, I kind of knew him. The predecessor of the water disaster was the horrific emergency manager law. Yeah. And I came to know Russ and others in the Detroit area as we fought to repeal that law that's still with us, by the way.
Yes, it is.
And that was the trigger for the Flint water crisis.
Yes, it was.
So I'm so glad to see Russ on here.
And I know he was instrumental traveling all over the state to get that repealed. So Russ, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Tom. I'm currently the organizer of Detroiters for Tax Justice. We are fighting against hidden tax captures where hundreds of millions of dollars of Detroiters' property taxes meant for our schools, for our libraries, for paying city debt and school debt and so forth, and to our community college, is being siphoned off without public knowledge and transferred to pots of money that goes to millionaires and billionaires that fund projects downtown. I don't call them developers. I call them, occupiers and
yes.
So forth.
Colonizers.
And so just with Mike Duggan in the last 9 years, and this doesn't count 2023, they're withholding that information for now. They've taken $442.5 million and transferred it to these millionaire billionaires. And we're also fighting the land value tax in Lansing. And that's currently a Detroit only bill, but it could be expanded to cover cities across Michigan. And it's another, it's a bill that, if it was enacted, would give the mayor the power to raise or lower taxes as he sees fit, or in the future she would see fit to favor, developers and use it punitively to overtax people to take their land. So that's those are my current activities. I became active like Claire in the 60s. I was educated by the Vietnam War, and I still have a part of my life that's spent fighting imperialism on the international stage as well. And there's still a lot of people confused and believe the United States does righteous things abroad. I'm not in that school, because imperialism is about the projection of power from the local to the worldwide stage, and every avenue and every active force that it takes is to pursue its interests, not the interests of the people targeted.
Absolutely. And one of the amazing things that I've gotten to know about Russ is, I got involved knowing him with educational politics in Detroit, maybe, 12 or so years ago. But at the same time, I'm aware that people are contacting him on a national and international level because of his expertise on Ukrainian fascist and Nazi movements, on the Nazi infection of the far right in the United States and in South America. So his reach is very broad. And so we have two superstars. And then you also have me. I'm Tom Padroni, and I'm a professor at Wayne State, also a longtime advocate. My purpose has always been to try to find a way that I can go way beyond the usual white ivory tower, making a career off of documenting other people's misery, and actually see if there are ways that I can be useful to movements. And that's a tough thing to do, especially as a white guy. I spent a lot of time feeling awkward and voyeuristic, but eventually I've been able to sort of find my way and be like, okay, well, maybe there is something that I can do. And that connects also to the larger purpose of this show, The Deeper Grassroots Effect, all the episodes, including this one, which is the hope that by looking comparatively across cities and across school districts, we can not only see the commonality and get a sense of the blueprint that is being used against people, but also get a sense of how to resist more effectively. And we've talked in previous weeks about what that looks like. For example, the lack of success that we had in Inkster, because we didn't join together, we didn't yet know, we weren't yet connected. And then the success that we did have in Benton Harbor, shutting down the effort of Gretchen Whitmer. It's very bipartisan, this effort, to shut down Benton Harbor High School. And we were at least successful in pushing back against that. It's not like we're advancing a visionary agenda for Benton Harbor schools or schools in general, but at least we put out those fires for now. I'm hoping that this show is one of the pieces of building not only the ability to put out fires, but also to advance an agenda once we connect up more. So that brings us to the comparative piece. Flint and Detroit. And, just off the bat, we've mentioned water. I know about the connections with water shutoffs, water scarcity during the time of COVID in both cities. I know the way that taxes are used and abused in the interests of, as Russ said, billionaires, tax captures, working in both contexts in the two cities. Housing policies, foreclosure. I've already mentioned Flint's master plan. And in Detroit, the comparable thing might be the original Detroit Future City blueprint, which envisioned triaging scarce city resources to reward what they called successful housing markets and punish what they called failing housing markets. Now, we used to think of failing housing markets, and we still do, hopefully, as neighborhoods that were struggling, that were oppressed, that were facing structural violence because of capitalism, because of structured racism. But we were supposed to think of it more in market terms, that they weren't a struggling neighborhood that needed government support, but rather they were a failing housing market that needed to be put out of business. The neighborhood needed to be put out of business. Mm-hmm. Let me start with you, Claire, because Flint is a newer context for me. If you had to sort of start with an overall picture of what it looks like in Flint, how would you summarize what is happening in terms of ordinary Flinters and Flintstones being able to get what they need and envision a future for the city, and the interests of other people who are much wealthier?
Well, the city of Flint is in a terrible place. We are just devastated with the poverty, the poison water, the highest water rates in the nation. We have not the settlement that was negotiated with the state to try to make Flint residents whole as a result of the water crisis. We haven't seen a dime of it yet. And so we've got a lot of issues going on. Uh, Not the least of which is the expropriation of our ARPA money, which is sort of an immediate thing that we have right now. Um, and we hear our council people saying, "Well, we got to stop all this drama at the council meetings. We got to take care of the business of the city." Well, it seems that the business of the city is business.
Yeah.
Because the people who are benefiting from that money that was earmarked for our residents, uh, keep in mind, ARPA money is a different kind of money from other federal dollars because this money went directly into the bank account of our city.
Yes, it
And
did.
other federal dollars go to the state and then they mid it out to the municipalities. But this money, it did not pass go, it didn't go to jail, it went straight to our city. And we are fighting to make sure that the residents benefit from that. But it is a tough fight. Our council is morally challenged. There's no humanity down there. Um, they've allowed, and I'm anxious to hear Russ talk about tax captures because this is something that I maybe others do, but I have. This is a whole new concept and whole new program, and we heard about it through Ashley Capital, so I'm anxious to hear about it. But the city council uh, 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 gave $2 million of our money. We've always said that the ARPA money is our money. And these corporations and interest groups go to the front of the line and the city council just nods and give them what they want. Now, through a tax capture, and again, we're trying to learn more about that, but they gave $72 million to Ashley Capital, who was awarded the land, the old Buick City property, through the Racer Trust. Racer Trust being the trust fund set up by General Motors when they went into bankruptcy. And without getting into the details of that, they used this new animal called the tax capture. And then they went to the council and got $72 million for 28 years. Now, even General Motors didn't get that kind of money when they came to city council time after time to get tax abatements for their company, what be it Chevrolet, the old Buick City, uh, Chevrolet down in the hole, the truck and bus, all of these GM plants were able to go to city council without barely any resistance and get a tax abatement. Those tax abatements uh, were 50% for 12 years. Ashley Capital got 23 million, and I think it was over 28 years. And so the add an insult to injury, even before they were allowed to get this exorbitant tax abatement, they were given $2 million of opera funds. Why would you give them? And then recently, our garbage company were given $2 million of ARPA fund and a 5 year, nobody gets a 5 year contract
Right.
to 2028. So, I mean, I'm just using these things, and most of the residents who's listened to this program already know about these things, but I'm using that as an example of the city of Flint is under siege by these corporate interests. And we don't have, right now, we're trying to build the capacity because social justice is in the DNA of Flint. We have a rich history of social justice.
Yes.
We were the home of the sit down strike that sent shockwaves around the world. It inspired the labor movement. It enhanced the labor movement around the world. And it was done here in Flint. And we also were the home of the first African American mayor for a city its size. We were the first city to pass an open housing ordinance. We have done great things. And I think we need to have a memory check. We have to go back to our roots. It's in our DNA, and we're trying to build our capacity back up. We've been so hit with various things, and we have no leadership from our community. We have no leadership, even from our unions. We don't see them. And our civil rights organizations are in retreat. So we've got to come together and build back this fighting capacity that Flint is known for and start seizing what belonged to us.
Wow, that's a powerful summary.
Russ, you can feel welcome to jump in. I mean, if I lay out a transition at all, I would point to the incredible irony that the reason why Flint got the second highest amount of ARPA monies in the state, and remember, Flint is not even close to the second largest city in Flint anymore, is because of the extreme disparities. You know, I've reviewed very carefully the Treasury's documentation about how money was awarded and what the rationale was. And so the rationale for Flint getting so much ARPA money is precisely because it has such high need. The idea that then as the money comes in, and as Ms. Claire was talking about, the money it's been sequestered for 2 years now, since more, right? May 2021, we've got to say 2.5 years now, in city bank accounts for the most part, which are accruing interest. And cities get to keep that interest as well. So that gets to be a question about what's happening with that interest. But I wanted to mention that incredible irony about ordinary people not getting a dime of the ARPA money in Flint at the same time that they are precisely the reason why, you know, with the inequalities and the need coming out of COVID, the disparities of the effects of COVID, that Flint got as much money as it did. But Claire painted a much broader picture than just ARPA. She brought in, the tax captures and many other things. So, Russ, what's your response? How does that? What is your response to that? And give us some narrative.
Well, what sounds like the misdirection and misuse of ARPA money speaks to Claire's central point. The community is not organized, and when they're not organized, their voices are ignored, and their needs are ignored. It's always about organization. That determines justice, not somebody's heart and intentions, because big money is always positioned itself to bribe and otherwise influence people who hold the purse strings at the local unit of government or the state level or the federal level. They can always influence with their seductive wave of a envelope of money, but that envelope of money gets overruled when the people are organized, and what Claire is saying is that you're not going to get justice if you don't organize and demand justice. That's what I hear Claire saying, and that's true across the whole planet.
Do you want to speak to some of your recent successes, Russ, that you guys are trying to build at least?
Yeah.
Of that organization?
Yeah. And if I hope this is an encouraging note to people, because organizing does make a difference. When I mentioned that Detroiters for Tax Justice, we came together in April after the Detroit City Council voted 8-1 to give another $800 million grant to the Illiches, the Little Caesars pizza people, for another of their projects downtown. There was another two billionaires that had come together, the Illiches and Stephen Ross, and they were going to put this program together. Well, they did that in 2014, and all the promises they made is, you know, you give us this money, we'll do this, this, and that. Those promises, for the most part, were broken. I mean, blatantly. I mean, just slap in your face, go to hell kind of attitude. And yet they come around saying, we'll do this, this, and this. And they're given another $800 million. And, you know, a lot of Detroiters spoke against this, not just we need the money for something else, but, you know, even what they were going to build was nonsensical. It made no sense. And, you know, from any perspective, not from a business perspective or whatever. And, you know, but they just fell in line. That's how we saw it. And so we said that as long as these millionaires and billionaires own our city government, we're going to continue to lose like this. And we've got to counter organize on a sustained basis and go after the instrumentalities, the tax captures, and specifically that allow much of this kind of abuse. And so Detroiters for Tax Justice was formed in April of this year. And we did research and got the tax capture data that I mentioned about the $442 million that Mike Duggan has taken from all our millage, property tax millages. Again, supposed to go to the education, to local government, special needs children, supplemental education. And we have a countywide millage for that. The man steals from the special needs kids. I mean, he's taken $18 million out of their millages and done other abuses to it as well. So we put all that together, and then came this creeping idea of something called the land value tax plan. And they put a bill together in mid-September and introduced it in Lansing. And the push of it is coming from the mayor of Detroit. And I mention this because the mayor of Detroit is going to start showing up in a year or two in Flint, you know, asking for your vote for governor. And people need to know what a thieving, duplicitous, lying actor he is, even compared to what we're used to. It doesn't get any worse than Mike Duggan. And so we put our analysis together, and we sent this is in the House of Representatives in Lansing. We sent an email and a criticism of the bill to all 110 legislators' offices. Well, 108 of them. The bill's sponsor, who's a Detroit state rep, and the Speaker of the House. They're hopeless. But we tried everybody, and then we followed up with visits to the offices to make sure that they read the email, and we hit all the offices, and then we sent an updated critique in October 9th, and visited the offices again. We testified in the committee hearing. We had 12 people. Half of them testified in the committee hearing. And a number of people made multiple trips up there. I was up there 11 days myself over a 6-week period, and we stopped the bill. It was starting to go on a steamroll, and we were able to stop it. And we did it because we exposed its unconstitutionality for what it's worth. its precedent, its capacity for leading for municipal corruption, and that other weaknesses. And we made the case. And when they put it up for a vote on October 11th, usually a Speaker of the House, and the Speaker of the House has been twisting arms on this from day one and telling people, he's told legislators that if you don't vote for this bill, if you are not registered as a yes vote for this bill, don't expect to get any of your legislation passed. You can't introduce a bill and expect it to go anywhere unless you do what I say on this bill. So it's the top priority of the Speaker of the House in Lansing. And despite all that kind of arm twisting and other kinds of inducements, when they put it up for a vote, apparently thinking they had the votes, they fell short. 60 out of the 110 would not support the bill. And so they left the board open where they have the vote screen up on the wall, and tried for over an hour to get people to change their vote. And when they wouldn't, instead of saying the bill lost and pound the gavel and move on, they adjourned the session so the bill would stay alive. And so to this day, the bill is alive. And so the mayor said, "Oh, we'll get this done." But through the rest of October, they couldn't change the votes. Through November, they couldn't change the votes. And Mike Duggan was saying to the media in early November, "We're going to get this done in November. Don't worry about it." It never went back for another vote because they couldn't get the votes. And this was because of citizen engagement, learning what the bill was, putting a written critique together, walking the halls, talking to people about it. And on our last visit, the day before they adjourned, we gave a letter of appreciation to the 60 people who would not vote for the bill. And which was another way of also entering a conversation with folks. And we were encouraged by people, legislators from both parties, to keep up our fight. They said, "You guys," it opened up the eyes of the legislature on what this bill was, and you need to keep the fight up. You're doing a great job. These kind of victories can be won. And the reason this is important, what this bill does is it gives the power of the mayor to raise and lower taxes on people. And we know what he's trying to do is raise taxes on businesses with large tracts of land, like scrap yards and parking lots, so he can seize their land and give it to his developer friends. Because the Supreme Court said after Polltown that the cities cannot use, the Michigan Supreme Court cannot use eminent domain to seize property for private projects. So now this is the tool latest tool they're using, is super jack up the taxes, drive them off their property, because they're doing that with something else called a rainfall tax. No, it's not called that. We call it that. It's called a drainage fee. And they have these, again, scrap yards, and he talks about 400 scrap yards, and they're ugly, and, they need to all go to the suburbs and so forth. But of course, scrap yards pay people to recycle. They employ Detroit, residents and so forth. But he wants their land, and he's making them pay $100,000 a year in a number of cases for rainfall on their property. I mean, really? And he's tried and threatened to take them to court when they don't pay. But if they're a plaintiff in the lawsuit that was started 6 years ago and is still tied up in the courts, if they're a plaintiff in the lawsuit, he can't take their land because they're standing as a plaintiff. So we've got, there's been a long-standing fight and a long-standing organization fighting that rainfall tax issue. But but we've expanded it to the tax captures and any kind of exploitation of public resources for private gain. And that's our fight. And that sounds like similar to needs in Flint as well, fighting that wealth transfer.
So, Russ, one more crucial piece that I didn't hear in there, at least as much as I wanted to, was so what I did hear was the efficacy. Once you've built a movement, that you are able to get some traction, you are able to at least slow down and maybe hopefully derail some of these efforts.
Yeah.
The crucial question for Flint might be, given what Ms. McClinton said a moment ago, how did you do it? Are these movements built on pre-existing movements in their relationships? Are you able to bring new people in? And this is relevant for Flint because I saw in the comments, Art Woodson, who I believe you also know or know of, probably know, talked about the fact that there's Black leadership in Flint. And people always say, like, at the mayor, city council has majority Black leadership. The police chief is Black. The city manager is Black. Yet, that doesn't seem to solve the equation. And maybe, if anything, it makes people a little bit complacent. But so how did you actually build the movement, and what lessons might be in that for Flint? And then we'll let Ms. Claire respond after you.
We did it because I called all about 40 people who had been involved in justice struggles in Detroit, fighting the massive wealth transfers to the billionaires, to folks in that work, but in other areas of work around justice as well, and said, look, we are being our city's owned and controlled by these outside forces. They control our government because we're not organized. We're not sufficiently organized. We think we're fighting on this, but we're siloed on issues, and we're leaving. We fight properly for water justice. We fight properly against evictions, but we're not taking on the power structure that owns the politicians of Detroit, and we're giving them a pass, and we need to directly confront these people, and and so dozens of us came together in a series of meetings thereafter, and we created Detroiters for Tax Justice out of that, and we're going to continue that focus so that it becomes harder and harder for city council to do this. Right now, we have 4 of our 9 city council members who are opposing the land value tax plan, and this is not a matter that is even going to come before city council this year. But some of them have kind of figured out, on their own, the same critique that we have, or have adopted our critique, and they're not going to support this. And if we get one more, that's another block on Mike Duggan being able to implement it, because after the law is passed, the city council has to put this on the ballot because of the Headley Amendment that says any tax change in new taxes or policies have to be approved by the voters. So the city council has to put it on the ballot. And right now we have 4 council members out of 9 who say they won't put it on the ballot. Now, this is a long time down the road yet before this ever comes to city council. And it may never, because we may never Duggan may never get this bill passed through the House. And we're told that it'd be even harder for him to get it passed in the Senate. So, we're unrelenting. We just took on, Mike Duggan just published, sent out a press release to the media. He didn't send it out to the public. And I think that's instructive, because he thought he would get pushback. But he sent it out to the press, and the press sent it to me. And this poll said that 41 leading economists think that the Detroit land value tax plan, 83% of them, when it polled, said that this would be a great development tool for the city of Detroit. So we went to the website of the organizer of it, and we dissected what they actually said. and it was considerably less than what the mayor said. And so we worked overnight. We put out an exposure piece and sent it out to the media the following day, that the mayor's press release was a lie.
So Russ, you mentioned that you'd made these calls, right, with people who are already involved in previous fights.
Mm-hmm.
I got such a call too. And obviously that's important to get that backbone together. But what about, have you also succeeded in bringing in new energy?
We have younger people coming on board, but we have more outreach to do, because we're networked, but we haven't spread our work yet at the enough at the grassroots levels. Many of us are involved in networks in our neighborhoods and so forth, and we're talking to people, and we go to community organizations across the city talking, but there's more of that work that's necessary.
Are there new relationships that you've built out of this? Like, what are some of the newer connections you made? Yeah, I don't necessarily mean people's names, but like legislators, or is it community folks? Like, what are their roles connected to?
From people involved in block clubs, neighborhood associations, community advisory councils, youth groups, and also some legislators. Yeah, but we have, I would say half of our network right now are people I did not know before we formed Detroiters for Tax Justice.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so it has potential, and people were cynical. Instead of throwing up their hands, say, look, they're just owned by the billionaires, referring to the elected folk here. They're just owned. We can't fight the big money. Things are rigged. Even when we started to fight the land value tax, people say, "Oh, that's rigged, man. They're all paid off. It's gonna run through." Duggan will give them some campaign money and stuff like that, and it's a waste of time. And those people are now saying, "I'm glad I'm wrong."
Yeah, I mean, because they probably did try to do that, but
they did.
That doesn't mean that there's no room for social mobilization. So, Ms. McClinton, you talked about how Flint was a great organizing city. It has that deep, deep history. Obviously, using the word "was," it's not there now. I mean, maybe part of the question is, well, what happened? But for me, the more important question is, how would we move forward from here? What would need to be done to build that movement energy again?
Well, I think we are getting off to a good start. We have a coalition of groups who are preparing for our 10-year commemoration, not celebration, commemoration of the Flint water crisis. That'll be in April of next year. And so we are doing some work with various groups around that. But I also want to give a shout out to 810 News Media. I want to give a shout out to some of the other podcasts, because we get alternative, and sometimes not just alternative, but we get the news period from these alternative media. You already mentioned Art Woodson. We have Maurice Davis, Speak for the Streets, Fly City Blackout. We just popping up all over with these podcasts and these ways to inform the public. And this is going to provide the basis for us to grow the resistance. And I think we had a good example of that over at Hasselbrink, Dr. Padroni. You were there when the resistance of the community is there to stop the abuse of our government and these corporations. And I just want to say that I'm feeling encouraged, because we're putting the city council, the mayor, the state rep, state senate, governor, and the federal on notice. Now, anybody that worked in the shop know what that means when we say you on notice. That means you getting ready to get hit with punishment for your actions against and your inactions against the residents.
There you go. Yep. Tom, Claire mentioned earlier about more information on tax captures. And if I'd like to share some of that background, what that story is.
Hey, Leslie Hoff, just 1 second. I wanted to just follow up and give a shout out, as Clinton did real quickly, to 810 News Media and all the other platforms and activists. 810 News Media, whoever is in the studio, whether it's Mickey or Michael Clack, could you put up that donation cash app for 810? Could people please share this? And yes, please, I have been so impressed. This is something I want to share with you real quickly, Russ. One of the things that I noticed when I've been really becoming more active in Flint the last 6 months. One thing I noticed right off the bat was the great communications that exist in Flint among activists, with 810 being one of the platforms, but there are other platforms too. And 810 is internet radio, basically, right? I know their cost, but it's like you don't. It's not like the cost of a traditional radio station. But we also have people like Art Woodson, who, and I hope he's still listening because he deserves this shout out. Art can just go on Facebook Live. I've seen him get close to 300 people when he goes on Facebook Live who are following him. And that's both people who are thick in Flint, but also people who are from all over the country. And as mechanisms to speak, this is relevant for me because Detroit took a big hit because Detroit was dependent on 910 AM radio for some of its political discourse.
Yes.
And when that got shut down, it was like, well, what now? And that's when I was saying, hey, one of the ideas of this program is learning from each other. So that's when I started to say to people like Elena Harada and others, look at what Flint is doing. They have really, I'm never going to say it's perfect, but they have really good communications. And we need to start implementing more of that. But Russ, go ahead.
Also, before you go on, I just wanted to say I failed to mention our TikTok celebrity councilman, Eric Mays, who's also bringing a lot of attention to our city. So we have these things. And again, I mentioned Maurice Davis, Speak for the Streets, Fly City Blackout, these platforms to share information and to talk to each other. And these are helping to create the unity that we need to confront our issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Eric May. Shout out to Tanya Burns, Jerry Winfrey Carter, Dennis Pfeiffer, who's been an ally certainly for the last 2 months. The council is very bad. We don't have the majority, but there are some amazing people. And I agree. Eric Mays has been a great attractant of interest in Flint. And that gets derided as, oh, he's just a TikTok star. He didn't put himself on TikTok. Other people put him in. And the reason why is because he's so compelling and because he was being attacked so ridiculously. People love to watch that. Anyway. There is a lot of good social media energy in Flint. So Flint is very, in terms of technologies, capitalizing on Flint has been very good. Okay, Russ, over to you.
Yeah. Okay. Glad to hear that perspective. Tax capture started in Michigan in 1975. And basically the legislation said if a local unit of government, this could be city, village, township, county, had a development agency, they could take a cut. I don't know how the law exactly said it, but they could take money from the millages being paid by the local unit's taxpayers and enhance the work of the development agency. Now, this was a way of the state saying, we're not going to give you money for development for your needs. Take it out of your schools and your libraries and so forth. But they never put a cap on it. And the law got amended and related laws got added on over the years in the 80s and so forth. And so in 2018, they put all the laws together in Public Act 57 of 2018 that went into effect January 1, 2019. And since then, they've created some additional laws for brownfield redevelopment authorities. In the Detroit brownfield, we call it DBRA in Detroit. And this is another entity that can do on its own tax captures. And it used to be brownfield redevelopment meant remediating contaminated industrial sites for the most part, or places where it had been poisoned by illegal dumpings in rivers and lakes. And now they're turning that, because it has such a financial power, they're turning it into an agency that can take land and reclaim it and redevelop it for housing projects, and these are not public housing. This is private developers, and they give public money to them to develop their own luxury condos. And I'm not exaggerating, literally luxury condos. So tax captures basically are a shift of public wealth from our property taxes. And in Detroit, the mayor, you can go to any website, you can go online, you can Google Detroit tax captures. You won't find anything except now from us. But it was all secret. And we created a 3-foot spreadsheet, 3 foot by 1 foot spreadsheet that explained, it documented every tax capture that's been done over the last 9 years. And there's 4 agencies in Detroit that are allowed to do this now. And this is the first time the public has ever seen it. And we're having trouble getting traction in the media. They did a lot of stories about how Detroiters back in 2017, that they reported $600 million in overassessments on our properties from 2010 through 2016. This was a victory in a court setting and so forth. And they documented all that, but now we're documenting that they stole. We call it stole, but it was, it was done in concert with this law. But the law doesn't allow them to keep it secret. And I can assure you, this is going on in Warren, Flint, Sault Ste. Marie, Grand Rapids, Traverse City, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo. This is all over, and this is a state issue. And and so if there's nothing on the public record in the city of Flint, I would suggest people start doing FOIAs, Freedom of Information requests, to the city government and to the development agency directly, and start demanding information on what tax captures occurred. We went back 9 years. You can go back as far as you want and get that information, because your libraries and schools are almost certainly being impaired, and probably other, whatever parks, maybe you've got a millage for city debt that finances capital projects. That's probably being impaired as well. You think your money is going to where you pay for it, and it's not. So it's, and again, invariably the money is going to wealthy interests that are not going to be within the city of Flint. That's my quick summary of it.
So to turn it to Flint quickly, just in the time that I've been paying attention, 6 months or so, we have the $72 million tax capture that Claire was speaking to. We've also just recently had, I think it might still be in process actually, but we've had the land bank in Flint ask for brownfield tax incentives for the development of a downtown property in Carriagetown. I just want to highlight like what these things are in Flint. And I know, and then I'll turn it over to you, Ms. McClinton, to elaborate about how we resist and your insight on all this. With the tax capture for the brownfield tax capture for Ashley Capital, right? So Ashley Capital, extremely wealthy company. The problem is, or the opportunity is, from their perspective, that you have this site, the old Buick City site, that is deeply contaminated, much more contaminated even than people thought. That, you know, we've had revelations of PFAS, PFAs that are near the river, leaking into the river. There's a whole lot of contamination. This was a GM site. When GM went bankrupt, and, you know, who bailed out GM? We did. The public did. You know, they always talk about how efficient, you know, everything is. GM is making record profits again today. But so at that time, when the bankruptcy settlement was done, that meant the federal government inherited the obligations related to the site, and that's as Claire said, that's when Racer Trust was created as the trustee to clean up the site. Well, there's a lot of the site that hasn't been cleaned up yet. And Ashley Capital wants to dig into some slab blocks that have been left in place, which will expose more contaminants. And Racer Trust has claimed that that's not its responsibility. It doesn't have money anyway to do it. And so basically what Ashley Capital did is it came to Flint City Council and said, look, we're not going to come in and develop the site unless you hand over, through future tax captures, $72 million. And of course, they use the clever language about, you know, well, these are monies that aren't there yet. This is because the value of the land will increase. You know, the assumption is, you know, what gets lost in is, well, if it had been fairly completely cleaned up, you probably would have had some competitors, and you wouldn't have been able to constrain us with the conditions that you put us under. But in any case, you know, there was petty corruption. They sell out cheap in Flint. We had one person, Quincy Murphy, received a $11 million no-turn lawnmower donated to him from Ashley Capital, and another councilwoman who's now the president Liddell Lewis, received a $1,500 check, which reputedly went for candy and other items related to a fundraiser that she does. But in any case, I mean, it's so petty, right? It's such little amounts to sell out for. And so far, they've gotten away with that too. But you know, so this idea, I just want to point out how perverse it is that Flint residents who have already been through, you know, the flight of GM, the deindustrialization, the water poisoning, which they've gotten nothing from in the settlement, only the attorneys, right? That they are the ones who this billionaire company is asking, can you please clean up on what the old billionaire did so that the new billionaire can come in? Flint residents are asked to take on that obligation when those property taxes could be used to have a response time under, you know, a decent response time on 911 calls, to help fix some of the roads, to do all kinds of infrastructural things that are not getting done and won't get done because we are paying these billionaires to clean up GM's site. Claire, what additional comments do you have about all this in Flint?
The other part of it is, I think you outlined the Ashley Capital situation, but one of the problems of our council, when these people come in here, and by the way, if you're a big corporate interest, you go to the front of the line in order to receive funds. And the people, and we've had many. It's not that we're not activated here in Flint. We are, but the organizations are not set in place. But the council did not even demand anything from them. No community benefit agreement, no promises for, they haven't, it's very questionable how much you've really cleaned up. The council is not holding them accountable. They're not saying, if you don't do what you promise, you're going to reimburse nothing. Just give them $72 million.
No commitment to hiring residents.
Plus $2 million of ARPA funds. So we're talking close to $75 million. We got $94 million in ARPA. You're giving them all this money, almost equivalent to our whole ARPA budget.
Wow.
And you don't ask for anything in return. No community benefits. Are you going to hire local people? They wouldn't even sign off on that.
Yep.
That Ashley Capital said, well, we can't tell these businesses that come into the property what to do. You know, and then the other part that's just outrageous, and we've learned from history, they playing the General Motors card. If you don't give it to us, we won't do the project. Well, bye.
Yeah.
You didn't have an open bid for it to begin with. Racer Trust came to a city council meeting and said, we called Ashley Capital. Well, who else did you call?
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, but that's just some of the things. But in the big scheme of things, we will not allow these corporate interests, and I include the big box nonprofits in that. We will not allow you to come in and hijack and threaten our community. What you're not going to do, we're going to continue to resist these type of actions. And and again, city council is on notice. Mayor Neely is on notice. And I want to say something about the ARPA money, because even on the news, they said that the money has to be allocated by the end of this year. No, the money has to be allocated by the end of next year, December 2024. And they keep pushing out this narrative that they have to spend it allocated by the end of this year. That's not true. They even said it on ABC 12, the end of this year. And it has to be spent by December 2026. So we must seize the time in order to turn this big dinosaur around and channel those funds into the needs of residents. And we are having meetings and discussions and having strategies and tactical discussions about what we're going to do to make this happen. If you're interested in joining us with that, you can message me, Claire McClinton. Message me if you want to get involved, because the fight has just begun.
Would you like them to message you on Facebook Messenger?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to add, our time is up, but I want to give each of you a chance to have a closing comment, and I'm going to ask a question to spur that comment. But before I turn it to you, I want to thank 810 News Media. I also want to put something out there. A dear member of our community, Tia Alston, is deep in mourning. She lost her brother just in the last day or two. He passed away, a very young gentleman. This is related to the opioid crisis, if I understand it correctly. And you know, we have opioid money that's being used to buy a drive-through site for paying bills instead of being used toward the opioid crisis, according to this city council that we currently have. But I want to keep the focus on Tia Alston. You know, you are in our thoughts and prayers, and the same goes for anyone else who needs to be lifted up right now. So we're thinking about you. Hang in there. So the final question, I'll ask it, and then I'll have Claire go first, and then Russ, and then we'll sign off. So the one thing that we haven't asked yet, we've talked about different cities learning from each other. That's obviously a benefit. But then there's the idea of the cities actually working together. And I know that when we fought successfully the Benton Harbor closure, what worked, we strongly believe that we got the governor to back down, was because she hadn't just pissed off, 10,000 people who likely voted for her in Benton Harbor, which she could probably think she could afford to sacrifice. But because we made connections all across the state, including 2 busloads who came from Detroit, but also people came from Inkster to testify, from Albion, from Highland Park, from Muskegon Heights, from Buena Vista, all over came to testify. It became something where it became a political issue across the entire state.
That's
so
right.
That when the governor went around the state, she had, Black families coming out and being mad at her wherever she went. She was hearing about Benton Harbor wherever she went across the state. And especially when the Detroit political class became upset about it, and word went up to, National NAACP, National Action Network, other organizations, people started to say, what is she doing? Doesn't she want some sort of higher office? Because she's still is talked about as a contender for federal office, vice president, or maybe even president. That's what worked. So the question to each of you, if you could briefly respond, is, do you see potential, given the issues that we outlined, in not just learning from each other, but actually acting together? And if you could give more than just a yes or no, like if it's a yes, some substance about what and how. Ms. Claire.
Well, yes, thank you for the question. And I wanted to mention that we had 2 or 3 carloads of Flint people down there at that big meeting at the Benton Harbor High School. I just want to
Beautiful.
add
that. I did not know that. That's wonderful.
Yes. But and that, by the way, candidate Pamela Pugh was also in attendance at that.
Yes,
so shout out to her for that.
I'm hoping to have her on the
people.
Yep.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that I think we can take a lesson from our history in order to look forward to future success. And one of the most recent and most successful victories that we have had as it relates to all this corporate capture, tax capture, and corporate expropriation of public assets and all of this stuff was when we repealed the emergency manager law. That was a statewide effort.
Yep.
Brandon Jessup, a young man in Detroit, opened the arena. AFSCME came in. We had a group here, Stand for Democracy, led by Bishop Jefferson. Bernadelle Jefferson was the leader of our Stand for Democracy group. We, people across this state, and here's what I want to emphasize. It was Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Greens, Socialists, Communists, every different religions had come together because we had a common cause, and that was to overturn a dictatorship law here in the state of Michigan.
Yep.
And we were successful in that. Out of the 83 counties, all but 6 voted to get rid of that law. So we have more in common than we think we do, but we have to make sure that we understand who the enemy is and what the enemy is a system that is designed for corporate interests to be the winners. And once we begin to have more of an understanding and raising our consciousness about what we're dealing with, I look forward to future victories.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Wonderful. Very well stated. Russ, final thoughts.
Yeah. Detroiters for Tax Justice has connected to people in other parts of the state already that are fighting roughly similar values, basically where the issue would be framed where any place where taxpayers are subsidizing millionaires and billionaires and large corporations. In Marshall, Michigan, the state wanted to give a couple $2 billion to Ford Motor Company to build a plant in Marshall, Michigan. Building a plant isn't the issue. Although in this case, a battery plant, there were serious environmental questions as well. And so they asked me to come. At that time, we weren't that well known. I guess we still aren't, but and then people in Big Rapids, Green Township followed that. Again, another multi-billion-dollar taxpayer subsidy to develop a private corporation entity. And then there were connections made to other townships, I think Genoa Township in Genesee County and other places. And the Economic Development Responsibility Alliance was formed out of that. And it's still a network that needs to grow. But working across the state and keeping each other informed of what's going on in each other's communities is part of that work. And we need to, amplify that kind of work. But, everyone across the state sees the necessity for us working in combination and cooperation.
Beautiful. Beautiful place to end it. Want to thank both of you. I also want to thank 810 again. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be thanking, because I don't know who's in the studio running the show. It's either Mickey, the world's greatest producer, or Michael Clack, president of the State Board of Education and the second greatest producer in the world.
No, it's both. It's both of us up in here.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for making this happen. I really appreciate it.
All right, no problem. How you doing, Miss Claire McClendon? And nice meeting you, Russ Ballin.
Nice to be a guest, and thank you for your hospitality.
Hello, Mickey. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right, thanks again, Dr. Petroni, for lending us your time and coming on and enlightening people.
Yeah. Claire, let me know if I can do anything to help you in Flint.
Okay, Mickey, take us out.
All right, signing off. Peace. Yeah.